Hi. Can I take you?
No, this is my nephew and he's mine. Oh, look, we're on camera.
Whatever.
Hey, guys.
Hi. It's 2020. Oh.
And you're watching Limelight.
Check out this episode. We have a lot in store for you now. Alright, you guys, how you doing? How you been?
What's good?
How's your 2020? How's your 2020?
My 2020 is good.
You look happy.
Thanks.
You look happy.
I am a little happy. This is Kovu. I want to give a shout out to all the animal lovers because animals are great and they're therapeutic, and particularly in our fields, it's really nice to have Kovu, my house dog. He's my nephew. He's my roommate's dog, but he's my nephew and I spoil him. Love him to death.
And I'm not allergic.
Right. He's
That's
hypoallergenic.
even better.
Bam.
Awesome. How's your 2020? Amazing. Living life. Turned up.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. But yeah, so you guys, we're so sorry. We've been on hiatus.
Girl.
It has been one heck of a new decade.
It has.
What's been going on with you?
We've been busy.
Let's get into it.
I went on vacation in January, a much needed vacation. Oh. Mm-hmm. Actually, with his owner, we went to the Bahamas. We took a cruise out of Miami, went to the Bahamas, and it was amazing. It was my first time in the Caribbean. I had such a good time. I really needed it, and go to my Instagram. You'll see some outtakes from there. But it was a fun time. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I started a new job. You know what I'm saying? Still doing PR, just with another agency and working with some really cool new clients in the entertainment world and stuff. So just navigating that and just still being a boss. You know what I mean? Trying to run this show.
Amen.
You know?
I heard that. Well, did I go on vacation? Technically, yes, but technically, no, because LaMay Day, we have this Power Positivity event that we do every year. Mm-hmm. So Pop Volume 5, this is our 5th year anniversary. So shout out to KS Consulting and everybody with LaMay Day that made this happen. But we went on tour, and in retrospect, it was kind of like, what were we thinking? Having literally 3 events in 3 cities, almost 3 states, because Northern California and Southern California are very different. Yeah. So we started off in Oakland. Yeah. Then we went to LA, which was, oh my God, LA, I love you guys. You guys really showed up and showed out. That was the largest attendance we've ever had. We was in there. j.Pin was holding it down. It was a lot of fun. And then we went from there literally 7 days later to Atlanta and did the same thing all over again. So it was amazing. He doesn't want to hear about it. But definitely make sure you be on the lookout for our coverage of all 3 cities for Pop Volume 5. And I guess we have to talk about our one word year. We talk about it every year. Every year. So what was yours?
My word for 2020 is intention. I want to be intentional with the things that I do, with the decisions that I make, with the relationships I acquire. I want to be intentional about all of those things, and so that's really like the main thing. I want to be intentional about making decisions that are going to affect and impact me in ways that are, 1, positive, and 2, long-lasting. So, if I have a certain goal, well, anything that might be remotely related to that goal, I have to have intention behind it. So that is my word for the year. Intention.
I heard that. Well, I cheated on my one word.
Kinda.
I mean,
what you did?
I recycled.
You recycled.
I recycled, and my one word for last year was surrender. So I've actually still been working on the same board for the past year because I really want to make it nice, and we'll tell you more about what we plan on doing with our vision boards in the future. But yeah, I felt as though surrender still needed to be a part of my intention for this year because I talked about me quitting my jobs and me just taking a leap of faith. And I think every day is like, I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know where my money is coming from today. I don't know what client's going to pay their bill. I don't know anything. So I just have to surrender to the experience, surrender to the moment, and just be grateful for what I do have. And I've gotten a lot of support. And I kid you not, random opportunities do pop up. So being grateful for that and just surrendering to the moment. So surrender part 2.
Can you add a word to it now?
Now. Surrender now.
Okay, surrender now.
Surrender now.
Remixed.
But yeah, I mean, but other than that, I mean, also too, like this year has been really heavy. It kind of started off on a heavy note with, of course, the passing of Kobe Bryant and his wonderful, beautiful daughter, Gigi. So that's just kind of been like some residue that's been left all throughout LA, and so that's
definitely felt throughout the city.
It's heavy, and it kind of forced me to take a step back from social media because I would just get it's just unbelievable, I think. And there's just been so many deaths, and it's hard. How have you been taking it?
It's unique because I'm not like a basketball fan.
Yeah, me neither.
But I recognize Kobe as a hero, particularly to this city. Like Los Angeles loved Kobe, and so when you lose a public figure like that, it's definitely felt. Yeah. You know, amongst the masses. Yeah. I mean, I know the nation felt it, but LA in particular,
hit different here.
Yeah, it definitely hits different. You really feel it in the energy. Yeah. You know, that specific week when he passed, and so it's just kind of like. You don't want to take your role models for granted. You don't want to take your life for granted. Right. If you're doing anything of influence, you know, you want to be sure that, you know, you're doing positive things. Like Kobe was doing. Kobe was doing some amazing things with his platform. Academy. And so you think about things like that. You know, I want to be sure that, you know, when I leave this place, like I'm remembered in ways that are positive and that are impactful to communities. So, you know, I hold my public figures in high regard.
Yeah, and I think even too, just thinking that you can literally have it all, or you know, it seems you can have it all, have a beautiful family, have everything that you could hope for, and then just like that. It's gone.
It's crazy.
And to know that, you know, he lived his life to the fullest, and even to find out that he went to mass that morning and he was really in touch with his spiritual side. So yeah, it's been very heavy for me. So I had to take a step back from social media because just seeing it constantly, you know, was just, like I said, I still can't wrap my brain around it. But definitely, you know, you've heard it a lot, like reach out to the people that you care about, reach out to those you love, reach out to your mentors, reach out to, you know, don't wait until something tragic like that happens, and then you know, just live life like it's your last every single day. Easier said than done. Yeah. But speaking of mentors, just want to segue into this real quick because I am super proud of my mentor. I've spoken about him before. His name is Carlton Jordan. Yep. And he is an amazing writer, director, producer. Yep. I personally met him some years ago. When I first got to LA, and I was young and tender and had a little milk behind the ears, and I was eager to get out there and interview folks. And Carlton Jordan had what was Blackarazzi.com. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for saying that. But he did have Blackarazzi.com, which was first of its kind. It was like the TMZ meets Shade Room, and you know, so we went out and did interviews and we had articles, and then he turned it into CarltonJordan.com, which was more on like a positive hype, such as like Nicole Bitchie switched over to XO Nicole. And Carlton has just been very influential to me, and so now he has this new web series Poz Roz that's out, and we went to the screening.
Oh, it was so good, so good. This series, first of all, just please check it out on YouTube.
Yes, link.
It's free. Look, here's the link, and it's about a young lady, and it's a rom-com, it's a sitcom, whatever. Yeah. And it basically follows her and her dating life after she finds out that she's HIV positive. But
like, whoa, like wait, let that sit in.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. But it's a comedy, like it's funny as you know what I mean? Bleep me out. Like that'll be fun. Yeah. But no, it's really funny, and the take on it, I think it's
unique.
It's very unique, and it's a very important topic, and it's very educational, very informational to people who might be uneducated about the HIV stigma and how HIV affects people, and how it's not a death sentence. That's in 2020, in this millennium that where we live in now. People have very hard misconceptions about HIV and people living with HIV. So I think this show, especially for people of color, this show is an excellent representation of that life.
Real life too, because it's just not one stigma. It's not just one type or creed of individual who's affected by it. So you have people on the show that are lesbian, that are gay, that are heterosexual, you know, you have it all. And I think that was, to me, that was very impactful.
Yeah.
And just his take on it, and then what he told us was his reasoning, which you'll have to check that out.
I interviewed him.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, let's just get into it. So let's check out the interview that he did, and then we also have some clips from the panel with Sheryl Lee Ralph. I mean, she was amazing.
She was so good.
Yeah, check that out.
Roll it.
I think we really don't know how to react. I mean, you're the first person that I know that has it. I mean, like, if you cough, should we be worried or not?
No. You gotta tell them that you're HIV positive. I'm trying to move forward, not backward. Sometimes moving backwards is moving forward.
If you're not looking for people to feel sorry for you, what is it that you want?
Basically, I'm a healthy bitch. Still sexy as hell. Best shape I've ever been in. And not to toot my own horn, but I'm goals as fuck.
Please give a big round of applause for Carlton Jordan.
But thank everyone for coming out on a Tuesday in rush hour traffic to come experience Poz Roz. It was a journey that started in 2013, and I just had an idea, and then every week or month or year that passed by, there was like an element that came into my inbox or an article on a website that talked about HIV and Black women.
You know, I'm so excited and happy about Poz Roz and telling the story of an HIV positive woman. To see this up on the screen, to see you in the role, to see you bring the comedy, the trauma, the education, and the message for all people to hear and understand is like medical magic artistically, and I love it. Why create Poz Roz?
I chose an entry point because a lot of times when you talk about HIV and AIDS, people automatically think gay people. A good entry point would be, you know, women that I know, that I grew up with, Black women that are HIV positive. I've never heard their story told, but I didn't want it to be a tragedy.
All right, so I am with the creator of the very important story, Poz Roz. This story is phenomenal. It's about a young woman who's diagnosed with HIV, and I'm just gonna let him talk about it. Tell me a little bit about the story and why it's so important to tell.
Well, it's about a young woman who is diagnosed with HIV and how she gets on the other side of the disease. So it's really about her dating life. It's a romantic comedy about a woman who has HIV positive. So, you know, our entryway into her world is through her status. But it's a wild and crazy, like 13 episode ride that takes you through her love life, her own trauma as a kid and a child, and her just coming of age and, you know, as a young millennial with a stigma.
I think this is probably the first story of its kind to be told like this in the media, and I think it's just extremely important. Why do you think it's taken so long for something like this to actually happen?
Well, you know, HIV is a hard conversation to talk about. You know, one, it depends on what generation you're from also. Like my generation in like the 80s and 90s, it was hard because one, everyone thought you would die immediately, contracted HIV. And
it was a death sentence.
It was a death sentence. So anyone that had it or knew someone that had it or was in touch with it, you know, didn't feel like it was something they could talk about because they would be immediately ostracized and excommunicated from whatever community they were from, right? Now, talking about it, because there was a time when people were living with HIV and it was manageable and no one was dying, the conversation kind of died. You know, so now bringing the conversation back is something interesting because there's a generation of people that aren't used to the conversation of people dying of AIDS because they aren't used to seeing that.
Yeah.
But because of that, the people that contract HIV that are new young millennials or Generation Z are dying of full-blown AIDS again because they don't have the education or the conversation. So I think the show is important to bridge that gap between the communication and about the disease, taking away the stigma, and also in a fun, interesting, exciting way.
Absolutely. I'm an advocate for education through storytelling, and I think you're doing just that with this series. I mean, I've been touched by it. I appreciate you for telling the story, for your amazing cast, for the wonderful people that you have working with you. Just thank you. If there's anything that you want to say to young hopefuls who also have similar stories, who might want to tell those stories as well, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to do it at their own pace, and to, just be open and honest and authentic as much as possible. And if they do it through love, and then I think they're going to be amazing, however they tell their story. One thing that we explore in Poz Roz is whose story is it to tell, and our character does go through a journey of people wanting her to be an advocate for Black women with HIV, and that's not what she wants to do. So it's also about what is your responsibility as someone who's HIV positive. You can tell your story, but you don't necessarily have to. You don't have to become an advocate. You can work in an accounting firm, go home to your family and watch TV on Netflix all night and not be the face or the voice of HIV. So I want people to know they have a choice.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Well, not first, but come on, Sharíck. We love you for watching. We love you for watching. Please stay tuned. You can catch Poz Roz on YouTube and keep watching LaMay Day Limelight. I'm your co-host, j.Pin.
Sharíck LaMay.
And we got Carlton Jordan. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye. I'll catch you next time.